Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today, we will lose ourselves in Anne's House of Dreams by L.M. Montgomery. Anne's House of Dreams by Lucy Maud Montgomery, published in 1917, captures a pivotal moment in the beloved journey of Anne Shirley, the imaginative, spirited orphan who has grown into a young woman. As the fifth installment in the Anne of Green Gables series, the story unfolds with Anne stepping into married life with her devoted husband, Gilbert Blythe. Together, they leave the familiar comforts of Avonlea for the serene coastal village of Four Winds, where Anne's radiant optimism meets the profound realities of love, friendship, and heartache. Against the stunning backdrop of Prince Edward Island, Montgomery artfully weaves a tale that celebrates new beginnings while honoring the bittersweet complexities of life and memory. Plot summary. Beneath the warm skies of Prince Edward Island, Anne Shirley is preparing for the next chapter of her life. It is a bright and hopeful moment as she bids farewell to Green Gables, the place that has shaped her since childhood, and prepares to marry her childhood sweetheart, Gilbert Blythe. Surrounded by the familiar faces of those she loves, Marilla, Diana, and Mrs. Rachel Lynde, Anne sets her sights on a future filled with love and adventure. Her wedding, a quiet affair in the blossoming orchard of Green Gables, is a simple but profound beginning to her new life. Hand in hand with Gilbert, she leaves behind the childhood of Avonlea to step into her new role as a wife. The couple soon arrives at Four Winds, a coastal village near the small town of Glen St. Mary, where Gilbert is to take over the medical practice of his uncle. There, Anne and Gilbert settle into a quaint white house nestled near the harbor, their house of dreams, as Anne calls it. It is an idyllic place, surrounded by trees and with a view of the sea. The house itself is small but charming, and within its walls, they create a home full of warmth and shared hopes. Anne's days are filled with the gentle rhythms of village life. She meets new friends, including Captain Jim, the wise and kindly old lighthouse keeper, who quickly becomes a close confidant. Captain Jim's stories of the sea and his past adventures captivate Anne, his presence grounding her in the realities of the world beyond her own joys and sorrows. Then there is Miss Cornelia Bryant, a sharp-tongued but good-hearted woman whose lively opinions about men and Methodists often bring humor into Anne's new circle. Though her remarks can be biting, her loyalty and friendship soon reveal the kindness beneath her acerbic exterior. One of Anne's most poignant friendships, however, is with Leslie Moore, a beautiful but deeply troubled young woman who lives nearby. Leslie's life has been marked by tragedy. Her husband, Dick Moore, suffered a severe injury that left him mentally impaired. Trapped in a loveless marriage, Leslie's spirit is burdened by grief, and she struggles with bitterness and despair. Despite this, there is a connection between Leslie and Anne, forged in shared moments of vulnerability. Anne, full of compassion, longs to help her new friend, but the weight of Leslie's sorrow is great, and the path to healing is not an easy one. As time passes, Anne and Gilbert's happiness grows, but their journey is not without heartache. When Anne becomes pregnant with their first child, the couple's joy knows no bounds. They eagerly await the birth, envisioning the new life that will bring even more love into their home. But tragedy strikes when their baby, a little girl named Joyce, dies soon after birth. The loss devastates Anne, casting a shadow over her once bright world. In the quiet aftermath, she grieves deeply, but with Gilbert by her side, she begins the slow process of healing. The sorrow draws them closer, and their love, tested by loss, deepens. In the midst of Anne's grief, Captain Jim remains a steadfast source of wisdom and comfort. He, too, has known loss, and his understanding helps Anne navigate her sorrow. He speaks often of his own past, particularly of a manuscript he has been working on, a collection of his life stories. Anne encourages him to publish it, sensing that the world would benefit from the tales he holds within him. The manuscript becomes a symbol of his life's journey, and in time, Captain Jim entrusts it to Anne and Gilbert. Meanwhile, Leslie's life takes an unexpected turn. Dick Moore, her long-suffering husband, falls ill, and Gilbert, through his medical expertise, discovers that Dick's injury was misdiagnosed years ago. Gilbert performs surgery that restores Dick's mental faculties, but when he recovers, it becomes clear that the man Leslie once loved is gone. In his place is a stranger, a man she feels no connection to, and the emotional distance between them is insurmountable. Despite her relief at being freed from the burden of caring for an incapacitated husband, Leslie is left with a sense of confusion and lingering sorrow. But not all is lost for Leslie. Over time, she finds solace in Owen Ford, a writer who comes to stay at the village. Owen, captivated by Leslie's beauty and strength, begins to fall in love with her, and their bond grows as they spend more time together. However, Leslie, bound by loyalty and duty to her marriage, resists the possibility of happiness with Owen. It is only after Dick Moore dies that she feels free to explore a future with him, and the two ultimately find love together. As Anne and Gilbert's life continues, their home becomes filled once again with the sound of children's laughter. Anne gives birth to a healthy son, Jem, whose arrival brings joy back into the household. With their child in their arms and their house of dreams filled with new hope, Anne and Gilbert look toward the future with hearts that, though marked by loss, are filled with love and gratitude for the life they have built together. The years roll on, and Captain Jim, who has become an irreplaceable part of their lives, passes away peacefully in his lighthouse, leaving behind the legacy of his stories. His manuscript, published with Anne and Gilbert's help, ensures that his memory will live on, not only in their hearts but in the wider world as well. As Anne reflects on the passage of time, she knows that life will always bring both sorrow and joy, but within the walls of her house of dreams, love will always be the constant that sustains them. The sea, ever present and eternal, continues to watch over them as they move forward into whatever the future may bring together. Hope you had fun. If you're hooked, don't stop now. Continue with the rest of Anne of Green Gables series by L.M. Montgomery. You'll find them below or on Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in L.M. Montgomery's original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.